me, then we're okay, right? Hey, good morning. Let's see, what we got? Today's the 16th, 11 more days till Thanksgiving. Next Sunday we'll have a Thanksgiving lesson. Give you something to look forward to. Let me ask you something. When you watch the news and watch TV, watch a TV show, watch some entertainment stuff, does it confuse you about what in the world is going on in this world with people? Has anybody ever asked you what's this world coming to? Hey, we're going to look at something today that probably people back in the Old Testament may have thought the same thing. They probably thought, what's this world coming to? It's not much different now than it was back then. And we're going to see what God did about it, about this stuff we're going to be talking about what's the world coming to. What's the attitude of the people of this world? Have you ever seen anybody? Did you ever think it would be that you would see a day and time when people would think it's okay to murder somebody? I mean, who would ever think that? I mean, there's no common sense. There's no logic. Everything's turned upside down. The Bible even says about there's going to come a time when things that are right will be considered wrong, and vice versa, the things that are wrong will be considered right. I mean, the Bible talks about that. Flip over there real fast into 2 Timothy, real fast there. 2 Timothy. And we'll go. Let's see. Oops. And look at chapter 3. We're just going to read this to open up our actual lesson. But 2 Timothy chapter 3, and just look at verse 1 for a second. I mean, Paul's writing to this young preacher, Timothy. Most people think he was a teenager. And Paul's writing to him, trying to encourage him. And he's warning him about some things. And in chapter 3, verse 1, Paul says to Timothy, he says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." Now, what does perilous mean? It means dangerous times. It means hard times. He says, "Just know also, Timothy, that in the last days perilous times shall come." Why would there be perilous times? I mean, isn't everything going great? Everybody's happy. Everybody's got plenty of money. The world is full of merriment and joy and happiness. Why in the last days would perilous times come? Look at verse 2. He begins to explain why these perilous times are coming. He says, in the last days, Timothy, he says, perilous times are going to come. Verse 2, "For men shall be lovers of their own selves." Duh. Is that going on today? Men shall be lovers of their own selves. Listen to this. They'll be covetous. They'll be boasters. They'll be proud. Blasphemers. He says, Timothy, perilous times are coming. we need to listen up too. Hey, Mike, perilous times are coming. I think perilous times are here. But I was warned about it when I read 2 Timothy chapter 3. Men shall be lovers of their own selves. They'll be covetous. They'll be boasters. They'll be proud. They'll be blasphemers. They'll be disobedient to parents. They'll be unthankful. They'll be unholy. You say, sounds like today, Mike. Yeah. Let's just throw these other ones in there too. Verse 3. They'll be without natural affection. They'll be truce breakers. They'll be false accusers. They'll be incontinent, no self-control. Whatever I want to do, whatever I feel like doing, I'm going to do. If I want to murder somebody, I'll just murder them. I mean, I murder somebody, they didn't even have it on videotape where I did it, but yet there'll be people out there go to a GoFundMe account and donate money for my defense. Why not? Just do what I feel like doing. They'll be fierce. They'll be despisers of those that are good. Try to stand up for what's right. See what happens? You'll get attacked. Standing up for what's right. There'll be traitors. There'll be heady, meaning even the government can't control them. Heady, ungovernable. I guess you want to say that. They'll be high-minded. They'll be lovers of pleasures more than lovers of God. And listen to this one. Why will perilous times come in your day, Mike? They'll have a form of godliness. Oh, they'll dress up. They'll come to church. They'll bow their head when somebody prays. They'll throw some money in the offering plate. They'll listen to the preacher. And then they'll be dismissed and just go out and they'll just live the life the way they want to. They'll have a form of godliness, but they'll deny the power thereof. And Paul says, Mike, that's coming in your day. And from such people, he says, turn away from them. Okay, so what's the world coming to? Just that right there. We're here. So we're going to see what's going to happen here in a minute. Perilous times are coming because people will be out of control. Anything goes. Only looking for that which pleases themselves. What's going to make me feel good? There was a survey taken a while back by the Barna Survey Group. I don't know whether you know who they are or not, but they're a big American survey group that does surveys on all kinds of things, a lot of political things, a lot of spiritual things, religious things. But the Barna Survey Group conducted a survey a while back, and they come to this result, that most people think the main objective in life is to feel good about yourself. Is that what you think? My main objective is to feel good about myself. The heck with the other guy. Well, our world's full of people who all they want to do is to feel good about themselves, make themselves feel good, please themselves. The heck with the other guy. Now, we're going to look at something in here. Turn to the book of Matthew and get ready there. God's word tells us that woe, that's what we're going to look at is woe. Woe to those people. God tells us that woe is the person that thinks about themselves. Now, when God says woe, we're not talking about the horse, slowing the horse down. Whoa there, Nellie. No, we're not talking about that. When he says woe to those people, we're going to see what woe means in a minute. But when God says, woe, we better take notice. There's a reason for that. Why is he pronouncing a woe? And who is he pronouncing that woe upon? For what purpose? Turn to Matthew chapter 11. And we're going to look how serious a woe is. Matthew chapter 11. And look in the verse 21. Let's see here. Yeah. Well, look at verse 20. Jesus with his disciples. And he's going to predict judgment on mankind. He's going to predict judgment on 3 cities here. He's going to pronounce a woe on 3 cities. How serious is a woe that God pronounces? Listen to this. Jesus tells his disciples, verse 21, verse 20 of Matthew chapter 11. Then began he, Jesus, to upbraid, scold, reprimand. He begins to upbraid the cities wherein most of his mighty works were done, because they repented not. Get that? These people seen his mighty works. They saw him. They heard him. And they rejected him. And he begins to reprimand, reprove, rebuke. And he says this in verse 21 to these 3 cities. He says, woe unto thee, Chorazin. That's the name of a town, name of a city. Woe unto thee, Point Pleasant. That's what he's saying. Woe unto thee, Bethsaida, another town, another city. For why is he saying woe to you, city? For if the mighty works which were done in you had been done in Tyre and Sidon, they would have repented a long time ago in sackcloth and ashes. He says, if Tyre and Sidon, which has already been judged, he said, if they would have seen my mighty works, he said, they would have repented. And they would have been dressed in sackcloth and ashes, meaning they were truly repenting of what they had, of their sin. He said, woe unto you, Chorazin, woe unto you, Bethsaida. He says, but I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the day of judgment than for you. Why? Those cities rejected Christ too. These cities rejected Christ, Chorazin, Bethsaida. But Jesus says, if those cities, if Tyre and Sidon, if they would have seen my mighty works, they would have repented. So why is he saying, woe to Chorazin and Bethsaida? He says, and he throws another one in there, Capernaum. He says, and thou, Capernaum, that's another city there. He said, and now, Capernaum, which art exalted unto heaven, shall be brought down to hell. For if the mighty works which have been done in you have been done in Sodom. Remember what happened to Sodom? Fire and brimstone rained down from heaven, destroyed them. They don't even know where them 2 cities were now. Over there somewhere near the Salt Sea. They don't know exactly where, but they were such wicked cities that God rained down fire and brimstone. He said that's how terrible they were. He says, if the mighty works had been done in thee, had been done in Sodom, it would have remained until this day. What's he talking about? Capernaum is where, have you heard the story about Jesus walking on water? That happened right near the city of Capernaum. People heard about, people saw that. Feeding of the 5,000, that happened near the city of Capernaum on a hill outside of the city limits out there. They saw that. 5,000, maybe 10,000, maybe 15,000 people got fed that day by a miracle. But yet they didn't believe Jesus. they repent.